arcade games. These types of coin-guzzling, input-reading, ticket-dispensing games come in all shapes and sizes. They can be platformers, beat-em-ups, fighting games, my beloved. I feel like everyone my age or older has grown up with arcade games, and hell, they don't even have to be in arcades. You can play most of these games on Steam and consoles now. So yeah, even if you don't think you've played arcade games or arcade-style games, you definitely have, and probably have had a lot of fun with them, as most of these games are really good. And what is an arcade style, you may ask? Well, it's a couple things, mostly focused on simple concepts and gameplay, with the best ones living by a single mantra: easy to pick up, hard to master. It's exactly what it says on the tin, and it's pretty much the main rule of arcade games that so many companies used to follow like a Bible back in the day. Tyco, Atari, Midway, Capcom, and what is in my opinion the king of arcade games, Bandai Namco. Namco kinda has everything, man, from 2D games like Mappy and Splatterhouse, to the fighting games like Tekken, to even puzzlers like Dig Dug and Mr. Driller. Namco is just the masters of the arcade style. And of course, we can't talk about Namco arcade games without asking a question. So, what do y'all think about Pac Man? Cause while I'm not the biggest fan of the series, I still really am a fan. Even if my experience is mostly with the May-style games, but those games I've played, oh boy, they're so good. The classics, the championship games, the really fucking weird ones, I adore all of them and would love to try the world games someday. Just gonna interject a little bit. This is editor Lunar Landslide here. Hello. Just gonna interject real quick. This video actually took so fucking long to make that I actually did get my hands on a version of Pac Man World 2, like that remake, and it's amazing. I'm on, I want to say I'm on World 3 or World 4. I'm on the Ice one. But yeah, it's really good, and I really want to try the other one, Pac Man World 1. So yeah, Pac Man has a very consistent track record. All of his games are good. Cool. But from everything I've seen of this franchise, there's always been just one game that I've never heard anybody talk about. A game that I quite like, as it turns out. Go figure. And that game is the 2016 mobile and PC experience made by Hipster Whale, Pac Man 256. And so, I'd like to talk about it for a little bit. So, what is Pac Man 256? Well, this is basically a Pac Man inspired endless runner. Basically, imagine the mazes if they never ended, and instead branched into something longer with an infinite amount of dots to eat. And yeah, I know, that sounds fucking horrible, but not to worry, as I've said, this is made by Hipster Whale, the same people behind Crossy Road, which, as you probably know, is one of the most popular and best mobile games of the 2010s. The result being a really fun endless runner type game with a lot of differences to the original Pac Man, like the power-ups for example. Now, Pac Man doesn't normally have power-ups for obvious reasons. The game is about precision. Collect all the dots, make sure to get the fruit, line up the ghosts in such a way where you can eat all of them. That's Pac Man. Simple, easy, precise. Sometimes you'll get a jump like in Pac-Mania or whatever the fuck happens in Pac-N-Pal, but it's mostly about precision. Even the new games with Champ Edition and its speed, it's all about perfect precision. It's arguably the biggest part of the series' identity. Pac Man 256, on the other hand, barely has that precision. Yeah, you need to weave through ghosts, you can lead them to a power pellet and get fruits to multiply your score, as well as pack dot combos, but there are power-ups and the ghosts have unique abilities. Not just the roots being different, but the very functions that make up how the ghosts work are altered. This isn't simple anymore. This isn't about precision, it's about endurance, which is the case for most endless runners. So, at face value, yeah, it's not Pac Man, but I would argue something different, that endurance is and has always been a part of classic Pac Man, just a much smaller part. Think about it. Pac Man is built on doing the same over and over again with some changes. Pac Man, Miss Pac Man, Pac Mania, Champ Edition, all of the maze games. You replay the mazes over and over again for a better score. How far can you get? That's the main question behind every arcade game out there, Pac Man included. So, what happens when precision and endurance switch places in terms of importance? Well, you get 256. But don't get it twisted, that's not a bad thing, because once the initial feelings of this not exactly being exactly like your standard Pac-Man maze game wears off, what you're left with is a very good game in the series that stands on its own. However, I understand that sounds like cope, so please allow me to explain myself. Now, like I said, Pac Man 256 is a maze-style endless runner where you have to outrun the infamous glitch level while doing your basic Pac-Man things. Get power pellets, eat ghosts, fruits, and dots, that sort of thing. Except now you can combo together the dots. Fruits give score multipliers instead of a set amount of points, and the ghosts, as I've already said, work completely different. They still kill you in one hit, don't worry, but the root system is replaced with more unique functions. Inky circles around a singular part of the geometry, Clyde will just wander around the maze, Pinky stays still until they see a clear path to you, in which they will beeline it to you in just straight lines and will only stop when you're out of her line of sight, and Blinky just chases you. This would already change the formula into something much more wacky and chaotic and casual, but then they went the extra mile and added new ghosts to the rotation. Now, there have been new ghosts added before, of course. Right off the top of my head, Pac-Mania has 1 or 2 new ones, and Pac-Man Arrangement has Kinky. But 256 has 4 new colors, the most I've ever seen added next to like Pac-Man World. We got the gray ghosts that stay asleep in one spot and wake up when you get too close to chase you for around 6 seconds. The glitch ghost that is slow but teleports around and emits a dangerous gas cloud. And then there are the purple and green ghosts that move side to side in a line, cutting you off. Purple has 3 ghosts and green has 4. These new ghosts, on top of the changes to the basic 4, change the game wildly and are a part of what makes it so fun, as it changes up your strategy a lot. Now, instead of the constant, consistent perfectionism of the original game, there's a layer of chaos to it, like you're trying to wrangle your own way to the top, which ends up being so incredibly fun. But the ghosts are only half of the new strategy. Let's talk power-ups. Now, these things are the real meat and potatoes of 256. They offer wildly different abilities that change everything about the run you might be playing. Such abilities include lasers, freezing the ghosts, a tornado, a bomb form, growing big, traps, stealth modes, you get it. These power-ups mix with the new ghost functions and the new gameplay to create something almost unrecognizable from Pac Man. And yet something that's also kind of the perfect new take on the game. Because while you're not focused entirely on leading ghosts around anymore, you are still making several micro decisions all the time throughout a run. Go this way, switch sides, lead ghosts to where the power pellet is, eat the ghost to add to the pellet's timer, set traps all around, set fire to your trail, get a bomb form, and clump a bunch of ghosts together to clear a path. Every power-up, ghost, even the very geometry of the maze at any current point has its own strategies to it, leading to your own, constantly altering on the fly, shifting by even the most minuscule amounts to how we even look at the game each and every second, sometimes even less. And then you also get coins in the gameplay, which lets you upgrade your power-ups even further, how long each lasts and how many points you get for eating a ghost with it. And the dots you collect go to a tally, which lets you unlock even more power-ups, giving you something to work towards while playing. You can carry up to 3 power-ups in any run, which means you can mix and match to your heart's content, adding to its own replayability. But even if you just want to stick with your favorites, the main gameplay loop itself is fun enough to replay since every run can go completely different depending on every factor. It kinda reminds me of a roguelike in this sense. Not like that, but more in the sense that every run ends up feeling different and I want to jump back in after every failed attempt. The concept of one more game is really strong with this one, which you could even argue is another cornerstone of arcade games. There's even skins you can equip for an extra little touch. There's a Pac-Mania one. But to start to wrap this up, Pac Man 256 is really good and you should play it, and most importantly, you should talk about it. I can't be the only one who remembers it after all, so go experience it. I promise you, it's good enough for that. It's replayable, it's fun. It switches up the Pac Man formula in so many different ways. It's so fucking good. And I would love to talk about the other Pac Man games as well, or even just other arcade games in general. I really do like this genre alongside fighting games and platformers, so it could be fun. But for all in all, thank you so much for watching if you did, and I hope to see you in whatever I end up doing next. Oh shit! I forgot about the multiplayer mode. Well, you see, that multiplayer mode is also really good because